Emboldened by recent court rulings, tens of thousands of pro-life activists rallied near the Supreme Court Friday with high hopes that justices might soon overturn the landmark 1973 Roe v. Wade ruling that legalized abortion nationwide. Friday's March for Life event in Washington, D.C. marked the 49th anniversary of Roe.
We might be able to see an overturning of Roe v. Wade.
Well, we hope this is the last march.
And many activists said they were praying the 6-3 conservative court would finally side with them. In December, the Supreme Court signaled its openness to overturning Roe during arguments for a case out of Mississippi. Conservative justices indicated sympathy for Mississippi's 15-week abortion ban, which violates Roe's precedent. That is, a woman's right to terminate a pregnancy before the fetus is viable at around 24 weeks. But according to advocate Rex Tedosio, there is no place for termination.
So we're hoping there will be accommodate in the United States that the unborn are protected in the womb of their own mothers.
The mood among demonstrators was boosted by recent state abortion restrictions.
Abortion is suffering a lot of defeats, especially with the heartbeat bill and, the sign of post-Roe generation, the post-Roe America. That's what we're here for. There's been decades where abortion is advancing and now they're just losing.
Several members of the white nationalist group Patriot Front attended Friday's march. Some held shields and lifted a banner that read, "Strong families make strong nations." Liberate Abortion, a national coalition of more than 100 abortion rights advocacy groups, said it didn't stage an in-person counter-protest at the march due to a recent spike of COVID cases, but said it was holding a series of virtual events to mark the anniversary of Roe v. Wade this week.
A Palestinian family whose home was torn down by Israeli authorities this week in the Flashpoint East Jerusalem area of Sheikh Jarrah have spoken of their ordeal. Israeli police evicted the Salihiyeh family before dawn on Wednesday. Then a bulldozer tore the house down. Activists and family had maintained a vigil there. Sheikh Jarrah has become an emblem, witness to clashes between Israeli settlers and Palestinian families threatened by eviction. Days earlier, Mahmoud Salihiyeh surrounded himself with gas canisters on the roof of the house, threatening to blow it up. During the eviction, Mahmoud says he was terrified the police would hurt his children.
At
2 a.m., my son woke me up and said that the army were entering the house. I couldn't leave the room. They came in and arrested me. They stepped on my back and the officer said, "I told you I'd come and evict you, and I'll make you leave your house like a dog, barefoot." He stepped on my back and told me, "Put your head down." I told him I never put my head down.
9-year-old Aya worries about the cats. They were inside when they demolished the house, she says. No, they ran away for sure, her father tells her. Yasmin is 19. She managed to save some childhood toys. They hold my memories, she says.
My heart is broken. I don't know how to express myself. The house that I was raised in is now torn down. Everything in the house is gone. The feeling is so hard to see my father's hard work of 25 years demolished. Our memories, my father's heritage on this land, everything is gone.
Jerusalem authorities have expropriated the plot on which the house stood, in an area of the city Israel occupied in 1967 and later annexed. They and the police said the family were given countless opportunities to hand over the land after an evacuation order was served in 2017. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas called Wednesday's demolition a war crime and urged Washington to compel Israel, quote, to stop the policy of ethnic cleansing against the Palestinian people.
The crisis in Myanmar following last year's military coup is driving two oil majors out of the country. Total Energy and Chevron made the announcement Friday. Myanmar has been in turmoil since the army overthrew the elected government in February 2021 and detained its leader Aung San Suu Kyi. Security forces are said to have killed more than 1,400 people and arrested thousands, though the ruling junta disputes those numbers. A number of firms had already pulled out of the country following the coup. Total and Chevron were part of a joint venture operating the Yadana gas project off Myanmar's southwest coast. Total said in a statement it could no longer contribute positively to the country. Chevron said it had to prioritise the safety of its employees. Rights groups supported the move and said more companies should follow suit. They also called for sanctions on Myanmar's oil and gas projects. Another energy giant, Shell, said Friday it no longer held exploration licenses in Myanmar.
After a brutal winter surge, new coronavirus cases in the U.S. might once again be retreating. According to Reuters' analysis of public health data, COVID-19 infections decreased this past week in 19 states, plus Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico, compared with the prior week. In the Northeast, which saw some of the highest caseloads during the latest surge of the highly infectious Omicron variant, infections are down 40% week over week. But the drop was more modest at the national level, with the 7-day average of new COVID-19 cases falling 7%, according to the Reuters tally, with infections still on the rise across swaths of the United States. COVID hospitalizations, a lagging indicator, hit a record high on Thursday of 152,746, according to the Reuters tally, with many hospital systems across the country struggling to cope with the Omicron-led surge. As a result, the Biden administration last week sent military health workers to hospitals in 6 U.S. states to help fight the deluge of cases and staff shortages. The federal government also recently began providing Americans with free at-home tests and will soon make millions of N95 masks available after President Biden received criticism he was not devoting enough efforts to fight the pandemic. The rapid spread of Omicron also forced Americans to pull the brakes on plans for a gradual return to normality as the United States entered its third pandemic year.